Hi students, this is Maniksha. So dear students, today I shall be telling you about the political outcomes of democracy. So dear children, since from last class we have been discussing about the outcomes of democracy. So democracy, it is a system of government just like the dictatorship, and when we make the comparisons between the dictatorships with democratic systems, we came to understand that democratic system is one of the better form of government in which the modern society they give more priorities to democratic system of governance, because it is the only systems which has the open transparency, which gives informations to the citizens. It talks about the equality, it talks about the dignity of the citizens, and it gives more priorities to the betterment of the society. That is why this democratic system proves to be a better form of government in many aspects, that is such as the quality of government, the equality, the dignity, the welfare of the society, so and so. So dear children, today we shall be learning and analyzing that how far democratic system is good politically in the society. How far politically the democratic system is good in the society. So when we analyze politically the democratic structures of government, we used to come across, or we used to understand that democratic system, it is a system which has the accountability towards its citizens. It has responsives to the needs as well as the expectations of the peoples. The democratic systems, it is a legitimate government. So dear children, when we talk about the accountability, so here we used to understand that since the peoples are electing the representatives in the societies, and those representatives are going to become the ruler of the society, and since the representatives are elected by the peoples, so since they are being elected by the peoples, so during the time of decision making process, the peoples are welcomed and they are also equally participating in the process of decision making. So when in democratic system of governments, when the peoples are elected by the citizens, so here the duties as well as the responsibility of the government is to show their accountability, is to show their responsibility, is to give their best to the peoples. So here, being the elected government, the government has duty towards the citizens, towards the nations, as well as towards the society. So here we understand that the democratic structures of government provides accountability to the citizens in many aspects of life, and it used to fulfill the demands as well as the expectations of the peoples. How they are fulfilling the demands? Because when the demands are raised by the peoples, so here the government, they used to give more priorities to the demands of the society, and according to those demands they used to work for the betterment of the society, and they used to give their best in the society. So dear children, as we understood that how the government is showing their accountability, because here we see the contract between the citizens with the elected representatives. So the elected representatives are elected here to do goods of the society, and here the government has to be the responsibility towards the citizens. So they are faithful, they are showing their accountability by fulfilling the demands of the societies, fulfilling the aspirations of the society, talking about the development of the societies, and how they are doing, because they are showing their accountability, showing their faithfulness towards the peoples. So dear children, you might have noticed that during the budget of the year, so during this budget of the year, the leaders, the ministers, they present their accountability in the parliaments, and after presenting their accountability as well as their duties and responsibility, the information is given to the peoples. So here the peoples are informed, the publics are given informations, and they are well equipped and they are well informed about the functionings of the government. So both citizens and elected representatives, they are equally participating in the policy matters, in the decision making process, at the same time at the functioning of the government. So when we talk about accountability and responsibility, here the democratic systems, since they are elected by peoples, give their best, give their accountability, show their liability, so they are responsibility to ask the citizens, and they are showing their responsives in the sense they are fulfilling the expectations of the peoples here. So dear children, when we talk about accountability and responsibilities, here we see that the government is showing their faithfulness towards the citizens, and when we talk about responsives, here the government is fulfilling the needs, expectations of the citizens. After that, we see that the functionings of the government is having transparency here. And how the government is having transparency? That means the government is having the regular, free and fair elections, open to have public debate. Then they are giving more open to these major policies as well as the legislations, and here the citizens are well informed about the functioning of the government. So my dear children, here we understood that it is the only systems which gives regular and free elections. So dear children, when we analyze the outcomes, then many peoples, they used to criticize this democratic system of governance. They used to say that in democratic systems it used to delay the decision making process. Though it delays the decision making process, but there is a quality of having the proper decisions in the society. Though the decision making process is very delayed, but there is a quality of decisions. So when the decisions making process happening, during that time citizens are given well informations. Citizens are given well informations about the functioning of the government here. So in other alternative system of governance, you cannot see all these kind of things. We cannot see the better political outcomes which is seen in democratic structures. So in other alternatives, so the dictatorships, we see that the dictatorship government is not showing their accountability. Though they will have responsibilities towards the citizens, but they will not show their fully accountability, because the power is resting in few hands of individuals. They will not be giving their accountability. because there is no compulsory in giving accountability. But in democratic systems, the government has to give their best to the government. They have to show their accountability. They have to prove their quality. If they are not proving their quality, then the citizens are not going to choose them. They are not going to select them. So it is a better alternative governance in which it is showing their accountability, showing their responsibility, showing their responsive towards the needs and expectations of the society. At the same time, it is the legitimate government. So the legitimate government, in what sense we have to understand here? Here we have to understand that the law as well as the actions of the government are revealed to the peoples. Yeah, naturally, students, we have noticed that when a new policies are framed, when a new laws are passed, during that time it used to give informations to the peoples. The peoples are given well informations that such kind of things are happening or going to happen in the society. And we have noticed that if the law is not suitable, then peoples will be opposing it. Peoples will be calling for demonstrations. Peoples will be calling for the public debates. So here we see that legitimate means the government is expressing and revealing their actions, their laws and their informations to the citizens about the functionings in a very transparent manner, so that the citizens shall be well informed. So dear children, here whenever the laws which are made in these democratic structures of government, here it has been proved that the laws will be very applicable to all the citizens that lives in the society, whether they may be poor or rich. The laws shall be applicable in the society. And here the elected government is going to abide by the democratic principles in governing the society, and legally they have to show accountable to the peoples here. So dear children, already we have discussed that. Here accountability means what the government is doing. They are showing their faithfulness, accountability towards the citizens, because since they are elected by the people. Since they are elected by the people, that is why they are showing their responsibility, their duties, their faithfulness towards the peoples, that they are elected for the good of the society. So if they are not doing the welfare work of the society properly, in next elections what they will do? They will be removed. That is why the political outcomes of democracy is better. What is that? Showing accountability, showing their responsives towards the needs and expectations of the peoples, and at the same time it is a legitimate government. And when we talk about legitimate government, it is revealing to us that whatever the government policies are there, whatever the government legislations are there, so the government will be revealing their secrets to the citizens here, so that the citizens will have well informations about the functioning of the government. So dear students, as we have analyzed here about the political outcomes of democracy, and we came to understand that democratic structures of government, it is a better form of government, it is a better system of governance. Why? Because it is showing their accountability, it is showing towards the needs of the citizens, it is showing the legitimate towards the citizens. That is why it has been proved that politically the democratic structures of government is comparatively better than any other alternative system of governance in the society. So dear students, thank you so much for listening to me.